Well, so far it's been an interesting start to the year. We've made it through the first quarter, on in through the first third of the year, and I've picked up quite a bit of fragrances so far this year. And while if I was to sit here and go through every single fragrance that I like that I've picked up so far, this would be quite a long video. So I narrowed it down to my 7 absolute favorite pickups so far in the first third of this year. I want to talk to you about them. Stay tuned. So these are ranked accordingly from my least favorite to my most favorite, but at the same time, these are my 7 favorites out of the God knows how many fragrances I've picked up so far this year, starting with Givenchy Gentleman Eau de Parfum BOISEE. So I love the EDP. I do. I actually, dare I say, like it better than this one. I did a battle video. It won. But, man, this is a spicy iris fragrance. And for being a spicy fragrance lover and an iris fragrance lover, this was a no-brainer for me. I had heard good things about it, and then I ended up just going ahead and blind buying it, not realizing just how good it was. And it just slightly loses out to the original Eau de Parfum as which one I think is better, but that's nothing to shortchange this fragrance, because on its own, in its own right, this is a lovely fragrance. This can do a lot of things. That spicy and woodiness adds a little bit more versatility versus that creamy, balmy resinous that the Eau de Parfum has, whereas this one I find can work better, obviously better for cooler days, but more as a daytime fragrance than the Eau de Parfum. I find the Eau de Parfum gears more towards the evenings than this. Don't get me wrong, this can be a great date night, evening wear fragrance as well. Definitely built for it, but I find between the two, this one has a little bit more versatility because of that spiciness and that woodiness, removing that creamy nature, adding a little bit more bite and a little bit more edge. Performance is toned down a little bit, but still no slouch. Still performs great, smells incredible. Definitely one of the best spicy iris fragrances out there. Super happy to have this one. Givenchy Gentleman Eau de Parfum BOISEE. Now this one's been getting mixed reviews since it came out. This is one of the 2 fragrances I bought at launch in the US for retail, and I'm not regretting it. Does it perform as well as I hoped it would? No, but it's still an average performer. The scent is what makes it for me. It's the newest release in the Polo line, Ralph Lauren Polo Cologne Intense Eau de Parfum. Have worn this several times at this point now. I think it's a great fragrance. This is Polo Green, if Polo Green was a brand new fragrance. This is the reimagining of the original for the modern age. Obviously has some ambroxan, has a soapy nature. It's still green, but more fresh green than piney green like it was prior. Tobacco notes gone. This completely removes that old man tag that Polo Green tends to get, which I still love the original Polo. But this is definitely the modern man. This is the modern take on the original Polo, and I think it's great. If it performed a little bit better, it'd probably be it'd get a lot more love than it's currently getting, but definitely sample this one. 5 to 7 hours is no slouch, but it's not something you want to pay retail for. I understand that. You want to get a deal. I'm not sure if they're hitting discounters. I haven't been seeing anything about it, but they're at department stores. Go try it. Get a sample, something. Smells great. And the reason it's in this video, because it's definitely one of my favorite pickups so far in the year 2021. Don't knock this one until you try it. Polo Cologne Intense Eau de Parfum. And then on to the other fragrance that I paid full retail and bought at launch in the United States. SPICEBOMB Infrared from VIKTOR and ROLF. The newest flanker in the SPICEBOMB line. Yes, I had severe leaking problems when I first got it. I don't know if the camera's going to pick this up. Yeah, it will. Super faded right here. Faded right here from where it was just leaking and leaking. And when the atomizer came in, it was off the bottle and dented in and everything. And it was a mess. But it has kind of stopped leaking, especially when I spray it. As long as I hold it upright, I have no leaking issues. It's a leaky atomizer problem. I did take the top off and everything just to check. No resolution. Haven't heard from VIKTOR and ROLF. Oh well. Have my bottle, because I know featuring this one, people are going to ask in the comments, hey, has anything happened? No, but at the end of the day, it's not the end of the world because it's not some heavy leak. So, c'est la vie. It is what it is. As far as the juice, man, I think it's a great release. I think this stuff is awesome. It has that red hot pepper type of smell to it, almost a red hot candy type of smell because of the cinnamon and stuff like that, and the red berries up top. But this one actually on my skin wears very light and airy, but stays consistent and is pretty long lasting. I'm getting in that 8-hour realm with this one, but it's light and airy at the same time. It's spicy, it's a little sweet, it's a little candied, but that's the crazy part to me is it wears light. And I actually think this one might be deemed just as suitable for warmer weather as the fresh version that was discontinued. That one's actually a little bit spicier than this one, and that one's got sea salt and more grapefruit and all that good stuff. And this one, yeah, don't get me wrong, it works great in the spring and fall, but I believe on certain summer evenings and stuff like that, this will be a stud date night fragrance in the summer evenings. You heard it, I don't know if you heard it here first, but I'm saying it right now. Summer evenings, date night kind of thing, especially if it wears as light and airy on your skin as it does on mine. Definitely get out and sample this one. I think this is a great addition to the Spice Bomb line, me personally. I think since Night Vision EDT, they've been doing great. Night Vision EDP was phenomenal. I bought that one upon release at full retail, and I think this one's phenomenal, and I bought it upon release at full retail. So that should tell you how much I love this line and how much I love what they're doing with these fragrances in the Spice Bomb line from Viktor and ROLF. And definitely get out and try this one for sure. One of my favorite pickups, no doubt. Spice Bomb Infrared, Viktor and ROLF. So I definitely didn't pay full retail for this one. It's one that I have not had a bottle of in many years. It's a weak performer, but it just smells great. It's a cheapie. It's Kenneth Cole Reaction. One of my favorite fragrances to wear out the shower these days, well, even though I haven't worn it in like a week and a half, 2 weeks, really and truly. But it basically smells like watermelon juice, for lack of a better term. You know, put aside the note breakdown and everything, what does it smell like to me? Watermelon. Straight up watermelon juice. 25 is on the higher end for this cheapie, especially for the performance you're getting, but I did not hesitate to pay 25 for it. If you can get it for about 20 or less, then I think you're doing really well with it at that point. But comparatively, like I said, this is kind of, they're in order of how happy I am to have picked these up so far. I'm happier about this than Gentleman Eau de Parfum Boisé, Spice Bomb Infrared, and the new Polo Green. So that should tell you how much I think this smells great. Does it have uses to go out as a work fragrance? No, it doesn't perform well enough. You'd have to keep it and refresh every few hours. But out the shower or just sitting around the house, definitely one of my favorite fragrances for that, because this stuff smells great. I say don't hesitate if you're looking for just a nice refresher, kicking it around the house kind of fragrance, because that's exactly what I use this for. And man, stuff smells good. Kenneth Cole Reaction. So very new to the collection, I just started spending time with this one, and I'm traditionally not a big fan of coconut in a fragrance. Only works in certain fragrances for me. Dolce & Gabbana Light Blue Sun, stuff like that. Not a fan of Guess 1981 because, I don't know, it just has a nauseating kind of smell for me. But Coco de Yemen, one of the newest releases from FLEURS de GOLFE. The stuff's great. It's predominantly, I mean, it's only like a 3-note breakdown of coconut, vanilla, and amber. And I don't get a whole lot of amber, but it is a coconut and vanilla bomb. It smells like coconut shavings up top, like actual shaved coconut. It's a beautiful, beautiful smell. Doesn't have the sunscreen vibe so much like coconut tends to. It's a beast. It's perfectly unisex. Guys, gals, don't matter. Everybody can wear this one. They are on the a bit more affordable side for niche. It's in the $100 realm. They do come straight out of France, so if you go to their website, you're going to have to click from French to English just so you can read some of the stuff on the website. So it is straight out of France. Love the design of the bottles on these. I now have 4 fragrances from FLEURS de GOLFE. I love the work they're doing over there. They upgraded their shipping to FedEx, thank God, because it took like a month the last time I got a package from them. This time around, 2 days. They did FedEx overnight, greatly appreciated. They did not have to do that, but Night Flower, I haven't started spending time with, but Coco de Yemen, I did start spending time with, and I'm loving this one. I'm really, really loving this one. I urge you guys, if you can get a sample, try this. Try this. If you've been looking for that coconut fragrance not named Virgin Island water, this might be the one you've been looking for. Definitely try it. And man, it's so good. I can't stress that enough. Definitely try before you buy, as I urge with all fragrances, because in this instance, you can definitely try before you buy. They do offer decants and samples. Coco du Yemen, great release from FLEURS de GOLFE, and I'm definitely digging it. It's one of my favorite pickups so far this year. Again, that's Coco du Yemen. For as many fragrances as I have that smell like a Ventus, I pretty much like this one more than a Ventus. It's just super fruity and fresh. It performs better than a Ventus for me, and I got a great price on it. bondnumber9.com. Fruity fresh. Like I said, I like it better than a Ventus. And no, that's not blasphemy, because it's my opinion. Just because you like a Ventus more than this doesn't mean I'm wrong, doesn't mean you're wrong. So I have to say that because people trip out in these comment sections. So sensitive these days, people. God, it's so good though. Pineapple, fruits, black currant, a little bit of cedar. I believe there's some fresh vetiver in here in the dry down. And it's loud and long lasting. This is pronounced, compliment getter. Works in every season. Strong enough to cut through the cold, light enough and fresh enough to work in the high heat. This stuff's the bomb. I wish I had more than 50 ml. Granted, it's gonna take me a very long time to go through the 50 ml, but by the time I go through it, it'll probably be discontinued down the line, and it'll be much more expensive to get a bottle. So one, I might go ahead and backup bottle up on this one in the near future, because I like it that much, and I'm confident I will go through 50 ml at some point. Of course, not this year. It's going to take me a while, a few years for sure, to go through this one, but it's one that I'll revisit more and more in the summer, because it's just that good to me. That's why it's number 2 in this video. So far this year, definitely one of my favorite pickups. Get a bonbon sample, because that's what they call their little samples. Get a bonbon sample if you can, and try it. Yes, it smells like a fruity Aventus with no smokiness. Kind of smells better than Aventus, my opinion. Sample it to see if you feel the same way, because you might end up wanting a bottle. bondnumber9.com. Those of you that have recently seen my review of this fragrance from a few days ago may have guessed this would be in this video. I don't know if you guessed it would be number 1, but I absolutely have fallen in love with this fragrance. I have been through 10 ml of its stronger big brother, the Eau de Parfum, but YSLY, Eau de Toilette, definitely my favorite pickup so far this year. I'm loving this fragrance. It is so good. It's so fresh and bright. It's a fresher, brighter version of the EDP, obviously. The EDP is richer. It's a little bit sweeter, but it's also a bit more cloying. It can be. I'm still going to get probably a 60 ml bottle of the EDP. Again, just because I'm raving about the EDT doesn't mean I don't like the EDP. Just like the EDT a little bit better. Works better for me. Just does. And really digging it. Definitely one of my favorite blue fragrances now. Rivaling, I had somebody ask me a really good question in the comments if this has a chance to knock Aqua Essenziale Blue off its throne for my favorite blue fragrance. It comes close, don't get me wrong, because I love blue fragrances. It's hard to have anything be number 1, but AE Blue's definitely number 1 for me. This one's just running a good race to try to take over. It's not gonna take over, but it's definitely one of my favorites. Really, really digging this one. If you find the EDP to be a little too overpowering for you at times, try this one. I know it was easy to overlook this one. It was easy for me. I went straight to getting a decant of the EDP and never tried this one. Ended up blind buying this one after several wears of the EDP, and I have fallen in love with it, like I said. My favorite pickup so far in 2021, hands down, is YSLY Eau de Toilette. Definitely try this one. It's fantastic. Well, that's the 7 that I am most happy to have so far this year. This is just pickups since January. I'll probably revisit this after the 2nd, 3rd of the year. Maybe at the end of summer we'll revisit this, and then at the end of the year we'll do, like I do every year, favorite pickups for the year. But these are definitely my favorite 7 so far. Subject to change, moving into, you know, the next third of the year. Some of these may make that video. Some of these probably will. And some of these are going to get replaced because I'm always picking up fragrances, whether it's something being sent to me for review or something I buy on eBay, Kingdom Fragrances, FragranceNet, FragranceBuy.ca now. I started shopping with them. I'm always buying something, getting something in. You never know what's going to show up on the channel. You never know what I'm going to end up liking, loving, or not really caring for. I see you all you people that were upset with me for Mont Blanc Explorer. It's an opinion, not the end of the world. Take it with a grain of salt. And until next time, do me a real quick favor, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, because I do appreciate all the feedback and I love hearing from you guys. What have you picked up so far this year that's, you're just loving it? It's one of your favorite grabs, whether it's you've only picked up 3 fragrances this year or you've picked up 30 fragrances this year. I'd like to know down below. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on any of the fragrances featured here today, you give them a spray now, might end up thanking me later. Have a good one, guys.